my goodness. 7 of our new best friends, the family Crest. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. You still got it.
We try.
In case you forgot for a second. You're in the hometown of your record label. We should give them some love, a little Tender Loving Empire.
Tender Loving Empire.
All right.
They're beautiful people.
The good people over there, Jared and company.
Yeah, and you can get some really cool, beer cozies and stuff like that.
Yes. They have the coolest stuff. We were talking about it. Laura and I were talking about stage. The coolest stuff there.
I think before we were signed, she actually bought earrings, and then we signed with them, and she's like, "Can I have more earrings?"
For those of you that don't know, Tender Loving Empire is a local record label, and then they also have this really cool shop where they sell anything and everything: tchotchkes, T-shirts, music, just little knick-knacky stuff, coasters apparently, and earrings.
Yeah,
the coolest
great.
stuff. How was the bunk bar last night? Our stage is small, but that stage might be a little bit smaller than this one.
That's a lot smaller. It's about half the size. It's always fun though, when you have like 7 classical instruments trying to like jam them onto a stage, and you're kind of like, yeah.
Have you ever jammed? Have you ever jammed your fellow player?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Many times, yeah.
Daily, right? Yeah.
I used to hit people with my headstock, but I've gotten a lot better. Like, just having to play a bunch of small stages, like I know just the exact time to pull back and not hit someone.
Yeah, John and I have gotten really good at that. I guess one of our fans was like watching us at South by Southwest, and I move around a lot on stage, and these guys have to look out for me, and because I swing around, and I guess there were a few times that I would swing back and miss John by like that much, but he had his eyes closed, so we just vibe each other, we just know.
We have that connection now.
Jedi mind tricks.
Jedi instincts right there. I was going to mention your South by Southwest.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, it just seems so crazy that it seems like quite the experience, good and bad.
It's
both.
We had a great time. I mean, our vehicle was the only bad thing. It broke down like on the way there. Actually, we were in the middle of the Texan desert, and it died. And it was a Sunday too, so nothing's open on a Sunday.
It's like for Sundays are for church and football in Texas.
Exactly. And so we called a few tow companies. Well, Charlie did, and I guess people literally laughed at him. They're like, "Yeah, can you pick us up? We don't know where we're in between these two cities," and they laughed and hung up. And then one great tow company picked us up, and we had to actually like send them a dropped pin on the iPhone to find it because it wasn't
named.
It wasn't named. It was just middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It is. I lived in Texas. I lived in Dallas. And
there you go.
You have to drive forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you then keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get to a
of
city.
There's some beautiful places though. It's a really it's a long drive, but the more you do it, the more you actually see like how beautiful some of that area is, especially around like twilight. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, South by was great. I mean, we had a fantastic time, and it's kind of like I compare it to Tough Mudder for bands. Do you guys know what Tough Mudder is? It's this crazy, ridiculous thing where like people that work out and do crazy stuff to their bodies go out and torture themselves in the middle of the desert. Or Lake Tahoe, they have like
It's like a 20-mile
obstacle
obstacle
course.
It's like doing a 5K
run.
but way worse.
with electric shocks and stuff.
Electric
you
shocks
jump
you
over
climb
flames
over.
and swim through mud.
And all these people,
Army
like, they
boot
really
camp
look forward
stuff.
to it. Yeah, they're like, oh, we want to do Tough Mudder, and then they get there and they're like, oh God, what did we? But you like put yourself through this like day of like and then by the end they hand you a beer and you're like, all right. Cool, it was worth it.
It looked like you guys played in what was like a haberdashery or something. There was hats all over.
Yeah, Gorn Brothers. I work for Gorn Brothers. It's a hat company in San Francisco, and they're really rad. They like let bands come in and play for different events, and they let us come in and play, and it was awesome. Yeah, it's a really fun thing to do.
Congrats on the new album.
Thank you.
It's fairly new. Beneath the Brine. Yeah.
Yeah, we released it almost exactly a month ago. A month and 2 days, I think.
And according to my research, the internet, over 300 musicians played on the record. True or false?
I think it's less. I think it's like maybe 230.
That's baloney.
260.
Round up,
Really?
5,000 people played on it.
Name every one of them. Go.
Bill, Steve,
you know what?
Alan, Jesse, Susan, Nancy. No.
How do you get that? I mean, from song to song, but that's quite the handful of help.
Yeah, it it started out as the band started as a recording project, and we didn't have any desire to actually be a band at that point. It was just like, let's make something we're proud of and then go be, I don't know, Star Trek fans or something, I don't know. And probably, right? And and then we put out requests to a bunch of friends that were in conservatories and just asked around like, hey, does anyone want to be on a record? And thought we'd get, 5 of our friends. And we ended up getting about 100 people on the first record. And those people, we now call the extended family, wanted to see the band. They were like, when are we going to see this live? And we're like, who wants to dedicate their lives to being in a band? And then these guys made the mistake of joining. And so it started out as just this collaborative thing in that regard. And then as we've kind of gone forward, it's changed a little in some respects. There's so many kids that study music in high school or college, and they go through and they play band, and then they decide they want to be a banker or something, so they stop playing their saxophone in high school. Or there's violinists that get their masters in music, and there's so few jobs that they're like, we can't work, and so they end up going and becoming a cafe worker or a banker.
Sure.
And
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that at all.
No, but they're abandoning a dream, right?
Sure.
To survive.
And we had this moment actually in Portland about, I think the same weekend we did the Bing show like 2 years ago, where this clarinetist came and she played, and she was like, I haven't picked up this instrument since high school, and she was almost 30, I think. And it was the first time she played it, and she picks it up, and we sent her the music, and it was this like moment for her to like have this soapbox to like play.
Yeah.
And that was really moving to me. I'd never even thought of the band as that kind of an access point. And so that's kind of what it's become, like all these people that don't really have a chance to play, we're open arms, like come play with us. We love that, and for me as a writer, it's awesome because I have to like constantly learn how to write for new weird instruments, and it's kind of insanity in that regard.
Well, that's a good problem, I think.
Oh, it's awesome, yeah.
I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you guys keep playing.
Yeah,
I was
let's do it.
going to ask the band about their last time here. We'll save that for another time. There's a couple of things.
Yeah.
Once again, for the family Crest, everybody, put your hands together. I'm going to move over here. Thanks, you guys.